The metaverse. I'm really concerned. Let's have a talk. Before I continue, I just want to say the style of this video is going to be a bit different. It's going to be a bit podcasty. I'm just going to be sitting here talking about my thoughts. So if you want, just fire up a few new tabs. You can just search the web while I'm talking and you can just hear. Or if you want to see, that's fine, whatever you prefer. I just want to give you guys a heads up. So yeah, thanks. Okay, so recently I was scrolling through CNN because I was just looking at some articles. I was looking at Fox, CBS, all of the major news sites, New York Times, etc. And I was just doing some homework and checking on some sites. But then on CNN, I found something a bit interesting that piqued my interest. It was that the first metaverse wedding happened in India. And I first read the article completely, but after reading, while I saw that there were a lot of merits to the metaverse, I started getting scared. Now, this is not anything against the metaverse or the creators of the metaverse. I think it's an extremely cool product, but I'm very worried about how it can take place in our own lives, and I just want you guys to be safe. Now, why am I so worried? Well, listen, the metaverse is taking things that we cherish in our lives, like weddings, and taking them out of our normal lives and making them virtual. Now, some of these things are really good, like business meetings and conferences, and even speeches and thoughts. I'm able to get my views across to you guys over the interwebs, across so many distances. Like, I look at my analytics, and some people that I'm in my regions, some people are all the way in India, some people are in China, some people are in Thailand. There's like a really spread out amount. I think there's some in like UK and stuff. It's honestly kind of insane for me. But all that being put aside, is this going a bit too far? I kind of feel like while weddings are cool to have online and stuff, I feel like it's something we should have in person. And of course, this is nothing against the people who did this wedding. If it works for them, it works for them. But what I'm scared about is that it's gonna take more and more things. I remember I was in a coding class. This was one of my first coding classes I had ever taken. And I play soccer, right? So I was talking about soccer and that to somebody else, and the teacher was like, robots will one day play soccer. And I really, really hated that. Like, I hated that idea. I was like, that's not happening. I'm going to be a soccer player. I'm not doing something like that. No, right? But the more I think about it, the more real this could become, or maybe even we'll just be watching e-soccer. Now, esports is cool and all, but I kind of want to watch live, real soccer, and I feel like e-soccer is going a bit too far if we're just watching that. And that's what I'm saying. Soccer games, sporting events will not only be just the things that go virtual. Will we just wake up in a virtual world? Like, genuinely. Imagine we just all start living in a virtual world, and the only time we take off our virtual, or maybe even we don't take off our virtual goggles. That's insane. Now, I know this is a bit of a rant, this is a bit of just raw thoughts, I'm not going to do much editing on this, but that is really, really crazy. And I just want to put that as I just want to put that in your heads, because while Metaverse is cool and all, this is way too insane. And I'm sorry if you were really excited for the metaverse and you like it a lot and stuff like that. That's cool. Like the metaverse, you can be excited for it, you can be in the metaverse. Just be careful, because don't let it take up your life and replace reality. And of course, something like that would only happen 10 years from now. I couldn't see it replacing reality in 2 years. That's too fast, too insane. But honestly, I don't even know anymore. The metaverse is backed by a very powerful company. I think multiple, maybe. I'm not too sure, to be honest, but they have a lot of power, a lot of marketing power. They have a lot of power over your beliefs, because they own what was formerly Facebook, now Meta, and they own WhatsApp, and just so many social platforms. And if you don't know about echo bubbles and stuff like that, but they can falsely, like, convert your beliefs. And if you want me to make a more in-depth video on the dangers of social media and how they convert your beliefs, I feel like there's a few already, but if you do, comment down below. I can make a full in-depth video about that. But this is far, like, way too far. I feel like there's a certain line where it's just like, it's not what we can do, but we like shouldn't do. And I feel like we might have just crossed it with Meta. Now, what do you guys do? What do I do? I mean, we can't stop Mark Zuckerberg from doing whatever he wants. I mean, I'm like half convinced he's a robot, so. Anyways, we can't convince Mark Zuckerberg to stop Metaverse. Of course he won't. I mean, it's gonna bring him some good money, and it's gonna give him your data, which I'll get to in a bit. But what can you do? Well, you can't really do much, if I'm being quite frank. You can just not do it yourself, encourage other people to just be aware of the dangers. I'm not saying that Metaverse is entirely bad, just use it for the right purposes, okay? So if you're doing a business conference, meetings, perfect. That's great. I think I'm really on board for something like that. But weddings, maybe it's just my beliefs, but I feel like something like that should be in person. It's really special and important event, and I feel like people should be in person for that type of event. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm just being a little too conservative in my beliefs. If you disagree, comment down below, tell me, because I'm really open to new beliefs. I think right now the tech world is changing so fast, and maybe our ideas have to change at that speed as well. But I'm just not able to see it. I'm sorry, but I just can't. But also, back to the point of that, even if you do see a world like this, your data, like, we already know that, like, Google, Meta already takes so much of your data, and that's fine, whatever. I mean, it's not fine at all, and that's why I don't use those. But, you know, for most people, it's fine, whatever, right? Because while it's taking a good amount of your data, it's not taking, you still have some basic privacy. But with Meta, you won't. If we start living in the Metaverse, they will be able to see our every action, our every spoken conversation, and they can already see a lot of our conversations. Like, this is genuinely scary, and we really need to be worried about this. So, you know, I'm just gonna leave you with one last thought, and that's something I want you guys to comment down below with, and that's, do you think Meta will replace our human world, our own reality, our own universe? If so, comment down below. If you don't think so, comment down below. Tell me your reasoning, tell me your explanation. Tell me if this is a good or a bad thing. Is it good that it replaces our world? Do we want it to? I personally am very anti-Meta right now, but if you aren't, then give me just give me a piece of your mind. I really want to read what you guys have to say. So leave some lengthy comments down below. I'll be reading them, and I'll be responding to every single one of them. Or at least I'll try to, unless this video gets like 1 million views, which is probably not going to happen. But, you know, if it gets, I'm very confident I will be able to respond to each comment. So, bye.